Close your eyes and imagine this. It's a rainy evening. The air is cool, and you're wrapped in a warm shawl. From the kitchen comes a familiar sound. Water boiling in a kettle. The aroma of fresh ginger filling the air, sharp and spicy yet comforting at the same time. Your grandmother walks in with a steaming cup of ginger tea, adding a squeeze of lemon and a spoon of honey before handing it to you. "Drink this, Beta," she says. "Your sore throat will be gone by tomorrow." For many of us, this scene feels deeply familiar. Ginger tea isn't just a drink. It's a part of our families, our cultures, and our memories. In South Asia, every home has a ginger remedy story. In China, ginger tea is almost sacred, used for centuries as medicine. In the Caribbean, it's the first thing given for nausea or cold. Across continents and cultures, one thing connects us: the belief that ginger tea heals. I still remember my own childhood experience. Whenever I had stomach pain, my mother would grate fresh ginger, boil it with a few cardamom pods, and make me drink it. At that time, I never appreciated the sharp, spicy flavor. But within an hour, I felt relief. It was only much later that I realized this wasn't magic. It was science, hidden in the roots of ginger. And maybe you've had a similar story too. Maybe you've been on a long car ride, feeling motion sickness, and someone handed you ginger tea. Or maybe you tried it during the flu season, when your throat was sore and your nose blocked, and suddenly breathing felt easier. Or perhaps you've sipped ginger tea not for sickness, but simply for comfort. That warm cup on a winter morning, the aroma waking up your senses better than coffee ever could. That's the beauty of ginger tea. It's not just a tradition passed down for generations. It's also one of the most researched herbal remedies in the world. Modern science is now proving what our grandparents already knew: that inside this knobby little root lies a pharmacy of healing compounds. Ginger contains gingerol, shogaol, and zingerone, fancy names for the chemicals that give it its punchy taste and its medicinal powers. These compounds are anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, digestive stimulants, and even natural pain relievers. So today, we're going to take a long journey, 50 minutes together, through the world of ginger tea. We'll explore where it comes from, what cultures discovered about it, the science that explains it, and the many health benefits it offers. I'll also share how drinking ginger tea daily for a week feels like, the best recipes to make at home, and the precautions you need to keep in mind. By the end of this episode, I hope you'll not only understand why ginger tea is called liquid gold in some traditions, but you'll also feel inspired to make it a part of your daily life. History and cultural roots of ginger tea. When we hold a cup of ginger tea today, it may feel like just another kitchen remedy. But the truth is, this drink carries thousands of years of history in its steam. Ginger itself, the root, or technically the rhizome, has been used for more than 5,000 years. And tea made from it has quietly traveled across continents, civilizations, and cultures, always leaving its mark as both medicine and comfort. Let's start with India, where ginger tea is deeply woven into daily life. In Ayurveda, the ancient Indian system of medicine, ginger is called Vishwabhasaj, meaning the universal medicine. That's how highly it was regarded. Ayurvedic texts from as early as 500 BCE describe ginger as a warming spice, something that can stoke digestive fire, relieve nausea, and balance the body's energies. Even today, if you visit an Indian household, chances are someone will offer you a drakwali chai, black tea simmered with milk, spices, and of course, fresh ginger. It's not just a beverage. It's a ritual, a daily comfort, and a healer in disguise. Move east to China, and you'll find ginger tea described in texts from traditional Chinese medicine, TCM. Here, ginger was known as shangjiang when fresh, and it was believed to warm the body, chase away cold energy, and restore balance to the qi or life force. One of the oldest medical books in China, Shinong Ben Chao Jing, The Divine Farmer's Materia Medica, written over 2,000 years ago, includes ginger as a key plant for digestion and circulation. Chinese mothers still make a strong ginger tea with brown sugar to give to women after childbirth. It's believed to warm the womb, speed recovery, and renew strength. Travel to Japan, and you'll see ginger tea combined with honey in winter, sipped to soothe sore throats and colds. In Korea, senggeng cha, A traditional ginger tea is prepared by simmering slices of ginger in water, often with jujubes or honey. It's thick, spicy, and incredibly warming. The kind of drink that makes you sweat gently and feel your circulation kick into gear. But the story doesn't end in Asia. Ginger traveled along the ancient spice routes, carried by traders and explorers. By the time it reached the Middle East and North Africa, ginger tea was being used not only as a medicine but as a sign of hospitality. In Arabic and Persian traditions, ginger was often mixed into drinks and sweets, considered both invigorating and sensual. The Quran even mentions a drink flavored with ginger as one of the delights of paradise. In Europe, ginger became known through trade with the East during the Middle Ages. It was expensive, exotic, and prized for its healing properties. Medieval Europeans often drank ginger infusions to fight plague, stomach troubles, and colds. The famous English physician Thomas Sydenham once wrote in the 17th century that ginger contributes much to warming the stomach and expelling wind. Cross the ocean to the Caribbean, and you'll find ginger tea deeply rooted in folk medicine. In Jamaica, ginger tea is a morning staple, often boiled strong and taken unsweetened. It's believed to cure everything from nausea to arthritis pain, and it's even a traditional remedy for menstrual cramps. In Trinidad and Tobago, ginger tea is given for colds, fever, and digestive complaints. For many families there, ginger tea is the first line of defense before any doctor is called. What's fascinating is how consistent the story is. Whether you're in India, China, Korea, Arabia, Europe, or the Caribbean, ginger tea has always been about the same things: warming the body, calming the stomach, fighting infections, and restoring strength. These cultures didn't share a WhatsApp group or a medical journal. Yet, separated by oceans and centuries, they came to the same conclusion: ginger tea heals. And this is where science becomes even more interesting. When researchers today analyze ginger and find compounds like gingerol, shogaol, and zingerone, they are essentially explaining what ancient people had already observed. That ginger reduces nausea? Modern trials prove it. That ginger tea helps circulation and warms the body? Clinical studies on blood flow and thermogenesis confirm it. That it fights infection? Lab results show ginger's antibacterial and antiviral effects. So when we sip ginger tea today, we're not just having a hot drink. We're connecting to thousands of years of human experience, to Ayurvedic doctors in India, Chinese herbalists, European healers, and Caribbean grandmothers. Every sip is a thread in that long global tapestry of healing. What's in ginger? Now that we've traveled through the history and cultural journey of ginger tea, let's pause and look at what's really happening inside this knobby little root. Because for centuries, people said, ginger warms the body, or ginger calms the stomach. But modern science allows us to peek inside, to see why ginger works the way it does. At the heart of ginger's power are its bioactive compounds, natural chemicals produced by the plant that give it flavor, aroma, and healing strength. The most famous of these is gingerol. Think of gingerol as ginger's signature compound. It's what gives fresh ginger its sharp, peppery bite. The sensation that warms your tongue and even makes your throat tingle a little. Gingerol isn't just about taste, though. It's a powerful anti-inflammatory and antioxidant. That means it helps calm inflammation in the body, the kind of inflammation linked with arthritis, sore muscles, and even heart disease. It also helps neutralize harmful molecules called free radicals, which cause cellular damage and aging. But ginger changes as you prepare it. When ginger is dried or cooked, gingerol converts into another compound called shogaol. Shogaols are even spicier, with a stronger punch, and researchers believe they have anti-nausea and digestive benefits that are even more pronounced. This may be why dry ginger or ginger tea brewed a little longer feels more intense and sometimes more effective for stomach troubles. There's also zingerone, a compound that appears when ginger is heated. Zingerone has a milder taste, almost sweet spicy, and it's known for its soothing effects on the gut. Scientists have studied zingerone for its role in reducing diarrhea and improving intestinal health. So the next time you boil ginger slices in water for tea, remember, you're not just making a drink, you're transforming ginger into a cocktail of healing molecules. But ginger doesn't stop there. It also contains essential oils that contribute to its warm aroma. These oils have been studied for their antibacterial and antiviral properties, which might explain why ginger tea is a go-to during flu season. And beyond oils, ginger is packed with trace nutrients like magnesium, potassium, and vitamin B6, all of which support nerve function, energy production, and heart health. Here's where it gets fascinating. When you sip ginger tea, these compounds don't just work in isolation. They work together. Gingerol starts calming inflammation, shogaol eases nausea, zingerone soothes the gut lining, and the oils fight off microbes. It's like an orchestra playing in harmony, each compound adding its own instrument to the symphony of healing. That's why ginger tea feels so immediate. Within minutes of drinking it, many people feel warmth spreading through the body or their stomach settling down. That isn't just imagination. It's chemistry in action. And here's another scientific twist. Modern studies show that ginger compounds also interact with receptors in the brain and nervous system. For example, gingerol seems to influence serotonin receptors, which may explain why ginger helps with nausea from motion sickness or even chemotherapy. Other compounds interact with pain pathways, which could explain why ginger tea often eases headaches or menstrual cramps. So when people say, ginger tea heals, they're not wrong. From the perspective of modern science, ginger tea is a delivery system, a way of unlocking these natural chemicals and sending them gently into your body. And the best part? It's safe, affordable, and accessible almost anywhere in the world. 10 science-backed health benefits of ginger tea. 1. Boosts immunity, your natural shield. Imagine winter approaching. Everyone around you is sneezing, coughing, and rushing to pharmacies. Meanwhile, your grandmother simply puts ginger, honey, and lemon in boiling water and says, "Drink this daily." For centuries, ginger tea has been the first line of defense against infections. Science explains why. Gingerol and shogaol, the compounds in ginger, have antimicrobial and antiviral properties. They don't act like antibiotics, but they strengthen your body's defense system. Studies show ginger stimulates the production of white blood cells, which are the soldiers of your immune system. Drinking ginger tea regularly may not make you invincible, but it gives your body an extra shield, especially during cold and flu season. 2. Aids digestion and soothes the stomach. Picture this, you've just had a heavy meal, maybe biryani or pizza or something oily. Minutes later, your stomach feels like a traffic jam. This is where ginger tea shines. Across cultures, it's been called a digestive fire starter. Modern research shows ginger speeds up gastric emptying. Basically, it helps food move faster from your stomach to your intestines. That means less bloating, less indigestion, and less of that heavy, uncomfortable feeling. Ginger tea also stimulates digestive enzymes, making nutrient absorption smoother. That's why even a small cup after dinner feels like hitting the reset button for your stomach. 3. Relieves nausea from travel to pregnancy. If you've ever been car sick, you know the misery, dizziness, nausea, that awful rolling in your stomach. Ginger tea is one of the most trusted remedies for this worldwide. Clinical studies show ginger reduces nausea and vomiting in many situations. Morning sickness during pregnancy, chemotherapy-induced nausea, and motion sickness. The compounds in ginger interact with serotonin receptors in the brain and gut, calming the vomit center. For pregnant women, small amounts of ginger tea can be a safe, natural alternative to medicine, though it's always best to consult a doctor first. 4. Reduces inflammation and pain. In Ayurveda, ginger is called the universal medicine. One reason is its ability to reduce pain. Arthritis patients have used ginger tea for centuries to soothe stiff joints. Athletes drink it after intense workouts to calm sore muscles. The science? Gingerol acts like a natural COX-2 inhibitor. That's the same mechanism some painkillers use. Research shows ginger tea can reduce markers of inflammation and even lower pain scores in people with osteoarthritis. So the warmth you feel in your joints after sipping ginger tea isn't just comfort, it's chemistry. 5. Improves circulation and warms the body. On a freezing winter day, ginger tea feels like a fireplace in a cup. That warming sensation is not just psychological, it's physiological. Ginger naturally stimulates blood flow, dilates blood vessels, and improves circulation. Traditional Chinese medicine has always classified ginger as a warming food. Modern studies confirm it. Ginger helps reduce blood viscosity, thickness, allowing smoother flow. Better circulation means warmer hands and feet, better oxygen delivery, and even improved heart health over time. 6. Manages blood sugar and supports diabetes care. Let's say you've just had a big plate of rice or bread. Normally, your blood sugar spikes quickly, and your body scrambles to release insulin. Over time, this constant spike crash cycle leads to insulin resistance, the root of type 2 diabetes. Ginger tea has been studied as a gentle regulator in this process. Research shows that ginger improves insulin sensitivity, meaning your cells respond better to the hormone, and glucose enters them more efficiently. Some clinical trials have found that people with type 2 diabetes who consumed ginger daily had lower fasting blood sugar and improved HbA1c, the 3-month average of blood sugar. Drinking ginger tea with or after meals may help flatten those sharp glucose peaks, making energy steadier and reducing long-term strain on the pancreas. 7. Supports weight loss and curbs appetite. Have you ever noticed how ginger tea makes you feel warm, light, and satisfied? That's not just in your head. Ginger has thermogenic properties, meaning it slightly increases body temperature and metabolism. Studies suggest this effect helps burn a few extra calories daily. But the bigger role is in appetite control. The compounds in ginger help reduce hunger hormones like ghrelin so you feel full for longer. Many people use ginger tea mid-morning or mid-afternoon as a natural snack replacement. Over weeks and months, this subtle change can add up. Less overeating, fewer cravings, and a gradual boost in weight management. 8. Soothes sore throat, colds, and flu. Picture this. It's winter, your throat feels scratchy, and you can't stop coughing. A hot cup of ginger tea with honey and lemon instantly feels like medicine. And it is, in a way. Ginger has antimicrobial, antiviral, and anti-inflammatory properties that calm the throat lining and fight infection. Honey adds soothing, antibacterial power, while lemon gives vitamin C for immune support. This classic trio has been used in households across the world for generations. Science backs it up. Ginger compounds reduce airway inflammation and even act as mild bronchodilators, helping you breathe easier. 9. Promotes gut health and microbiome balance. Your gut isn't just about digestion. It's home to trillions of bacteria that influence everything from immunity to mood. Ginger tea helps keep this ecosystem balanced. The fiber in ginger root, especially if you brew it with grated pieces, feeds beneficial gut bacteria. Its antimicrobial effects also help suppress harmful microbes. Studies show ginger increases the production of digestive enzymes and bile, making food breakdown more efficient. Over time, a healthier microbiome means stronger immunity, better nutrient absorption, and even improved mental health, since much of our serotonin is produced in the gut. 10. Relieves stress and improves mood. Finally, ginger tea isn't just about physical health. It touches the mind too. The act of brewing ginger tea itself is therapeutic. The sharp aroma wakes your senses, the warmth relaxes your body, and the taste grounds you in the moment. Scientifically, ginger influences neurotransmitters like serotonin and dopamine, which regulate mood. That's why many people feel calmer and more focused after sipping ginger tea. Combined with its circulation-boosting effects, this means better oxygen delivery to the brain, sharper mental clarity, and reduced anxiety. In many ways, ginger tea is nature's gentle antidepressant. No chemicals, just a root and hot water. Day-to-day experience. Drinking ginger tea for a week. After exploring all these incredible benefits, I wanted to do more than just read research papers and ancient texts. I wanted to feel the effects myself. So I decided to try something simple. 1 cup of freshly brewed ginger tea every day for an entire week. Now, I wasn't expecting miracles. This wasn't a detox challenge or some crash diet experiment. My goal was to see whether ginger tea, taken consistently in its most natural form, could really deliver the everyday benefits that both tradition and science promise. And let me tell you, the experience was both subtle and surprising. Each day felt a little different, from the very first sip that shocked my senses, to the calm clarity I noticed by the end of the week. It was like my body was quietly adjusting, responding in ways I hadn't fully noticed before. So, let me take you with me on this journey, day by day. I'll share how I felt, what changed, and what the science says about why those changes happen. Think of it as a little diary, told through the steam rising from a cup of ginger tea. Day 1, the first sip. The first day felt like an experiment. I woke up, grated a thumb-sized piece of fresh ginger, and dropped it into boiling water. The steam rising from the cup was sharp and spicy, almost like a wake-up call. When I took my first sip, it hit the back of my throat with a warmth that spread down into my chest. It wasn't the cozy sweetness of coffee or the bitter comfort of black tea. It was something bolder, like fire in liquid form. Throughout the day, I noticed something subtle. I wasn't as sluggish after breakfast. Ginger is known to stimulate digestive enzymes and speed up gastric emptying, so food doesn't sit heavy in the stomach. That very first day, I felt lighter, like my body was saying, okay, let's start fresh. Day 2, warmth and energy. On the second day, I already started looking forward to that spicy aroma. I drank my ginger tea mid-morning, and it felt like my entire body warmed up from the inside out. My hands and feet, usually cold, were noticeably warmer. This isn't imagination. Ginger improves circulation by dilating blood vessels and thinning the blood slightly, allowing smoother flow. By afternoon, I realized I didn't need my usual second cup of coffee. My energy was steady, not jittery, and my focus sharper. Ginger's thermogenic effect was kicking in, gently boosting metabolism and keeping me alert. Day 3, digestion gets a boost. The third day was the real turning point. After lunch, I usually get bloated, especially if the meal is heavy. But that day, things were different. The ginger tea seemed to calm my stomach. Science explains this. Compounds like zingerone and shogaol soothe the intestinal lining and stimulate smooth muscle contractions, helping food move along. That night, I also noticed I didn't toss and turn in bed as much. The warmth of the tea had a calming effect on my nervous system, almost like a bedtime ritual. Day 4, a clearer mind. By day 4, something surprising happened. I felt mentally sharper. Normally, midweek is when stress piles up and focus drops. But as I sipped my ginger tea at my desk, I felt calmer, yet more focused at the same time. Research shows ginger can influence serotonin and dopamine pathways, which regulate mood and concentration. It wasn't like drinking a sugary energy drink. No sudden highs or crashes. Just a steady, clear sense of, I can handle this. And maybe it was the warmth too. Ginger tea forces you to slow down, sip, breathe, and be present. That mindfulness alone felt like medicine. Day 5, fighting the cold weather. By the 5th day, the weather had turned cooler. Normally, I'd be sniffling, but I wasn't. My throat felt soothed, and my nose clear. This reminded me of all those times as a kid when my mother gave me ginger tea with honey during colds. Now I know why. Gingerol and essential oils in ginger have antibacterial and antiviral properties, reducing airway inflammation and supporting immunity. Drinking that cup felt like layering an invisible blanket around my immune system. Day 6, the stress relief factor. Saturday rolled around, and I noticed something new. After a long, stressful week, instead of reaching for junk food or scrolling endlessly on my phone, I brewed ginger tea. Just the act of grating ginger, smelling its sharp aroma, and watching the steam rise calmed me down. The science? Ginger helps reduce cortisol, the stress hormone. Plus, its warming effect boosts circulation, which increases oxygen flow to the brain, helping it relax. That cup of ginger tea wasn't just a drink. It felt like self-care. Day 7, the big picture. By the 7th day, ginger tea had shifted from being just an experiment to my new daily ritual. I realized my digestion was smoother, my energy was steady, my focus sharper, and even my mood lighter. I hadn't noticed until then, but my skin also looked clearer, probably thanks to the antioxidants and better circulation. Most importantly, I felt more balanced. Not a dramatic transformation, but a series of small, steady improvements that added up. And that's the real magic of ginger tea. It doesn't hit you like a miracle drug. It works like a quiet companion, day after day, restoring harmony inside your body. How I actually make ginger tea from my daily life. For me, ginger tea is like a daily reset button. Sometimes I need immunity, sometimes a lighter stomach, sometimes just a little comfort. The beauty is that the base is always the same, fresh ginger and hot water, and everything else is just an adjustment depending on my mood or my body's needs. 1. My everyday cup. Basic ginger tea. When I just want something simple without too many extras, I stick to the basics. How I make it. I grate or thinly slice about 1 to 2 inches of fresh ginger. I bring 2 cups of water to a boil, add the ginger, and let it simmer for 10 minutes. Then I strain it into a cup and sometimes add a squeeze of lemon or a teaspoon of honey. How it feels. Light on the stomach, warming for the body, and it clears my mind. It's perfect in the morning or even before bed. 2. When the weather changes. Immunity-boosting ginger tea. Whenever the first scratch in my throat appears, this is the version I run to, my natural antibiotic. How I make it. I boil 1 inch of ginger with 1/2 teaspoon of turmeric powder or fresh turmeric if I have it, in 2 cups of water for about 10 minutes. After turning off the heat, I add a pinch of black pepper. It helps the body absorb turmeric, and finish with lemon juice and honey. How it feels. My throat feels soothed, my chest lighter, and there's this protective warmth in my body, almost like I'm building a shield from the inside. 3. After a heavy meal. Ginger tea for digestion and bloating. After biryani, pizza, or anything oily, this recipe is my rescue cup. How I make it. I boil 1 inch of ginger with 1/2 teaspoon of fennel seeds in 2 cups of water for 8 to 10 minutes. In the last 2 minutes, I add a handful of fresh mint leaves. How it feels. The gas and heaviness disappear, the bloating goes down, and my stomach feels calm again. Ginger moves digestion along, fennel reduces gas, and mint relaxes the intestines. A perfect trio. 4. When I'm sick. Cold and flu relief ginger tea. Whenever my throat feels rough or my nose gets blocked, this cup feels like a sweater in a mug. How I make it. I simmer 1 to 2 inches of ginger with a cinnamon stick and 2 to 3 cloves in 2 cups of water for 10 to 12 minutes. After straining, I add lemon juice and honey. How it feels. My throat relaxes, my nose clears up, and I can even sweat out some of the cold. It feels like my body is releasing the heaviness. 5. When I need calm. Relaxation and stress relief ginger tea. There are days when my mind feels heavy and all I want is to decompress. This is my evening ritual. How I make it. I boil 1 inch of ginger in 2 cups of water for 8 minutes. After turning off the heat, I add 1 teaspoon of chamomile, or a tea bag, and let it steep for 5 minutes. Then I dust a little cinnamon on top. How it feels. The tension in my shoulders melts, my breathing slows down, and I feel like I've given myself a pocket of calm in a busy day. 6. To control cravings, weight-friendly ginger tea. When I want to manage my appetite, especially in the evenings, this is my go-to. How I make it. I boil 1 inch of ginger in 2 cups of water, then strain and add the juice of half a lemon and a pinch of cayenne pepper. I drink this about 20 to 30 minutes before meals. How it feels. My cravings reduce, my hunger feels more controlled, and I notice that I naturally eat smaller portions. My little habits and hacks. Fresh is always better. Fresh ginger has a zing that ginger powder just can't match. The strength control. Want it strong? Crush the slices. Want it mild? Just thinly slice and steep for 6 to 7 minutes. A honey tip. Always add honey after turning off the heat. That way its nutrients stay intact. A thermos trick. Sometimes I make a big batch in the morning, pour it into a thermos, and sip it all day without extra effort. A sensitive stomachs. If your stomach is delicate, skip lemon and cayenne, and stick to mint or fennel. For me, ginger tea is more than a drink. It's comfort, medicine, and self-care, all in 1 cup. I love having different versions for different moods. The immunity booster when I feel run down, the digestive one after a feast, or the chamomile mix when I need calm. Over time, these cups stop feeling like recipes and start becoming small rituals that shape your day. Best time to drink ginger tea. Now, One of the questions I often get is, okay, ginger tea is amazing, but when should I drink it for the best results? And the truth is, there's no single perfect time. It depends on what your body needs. But let me share my own experience, mixed with what science says, so you can decide your best moment. Morning, the metabolism kickstart. For me, mornings are when ginger tea feels like a spark. Instead of rushing for coffee, I started replacing my first cup with ginger tea. That spicy warmth wakes me up gently but powerfully. And there's real science behind it. Ginger increases thermogenesis. Basically, it revs up your metabolism and helps your body burn energy more efficiently. On mornings when I had ginger tea with a squeeze of lemon, I felt lighter and more energized. It set the tone for the whole day, like telling my body, we're starting clean. Afternoon beating sluggishness and cravings. By mid-afternoon, I usually crave snacks or feel sleepy at my desk. That's when ginger tea became my secret weapon. Instead of reaching for biscuits or chips, I brewed a cup. Within minutes, I felt more focused, and interestingly, the cravings faded. This happens because ginger helps regulate blood sugar levels, preventing that midday crash. Plus, sipping hot ginger tea forces you to pause, breathe, and reset, which honestly feels like a mini break for both the stomach and the brain. Evening, comfort and relaxation. At night, ginger tea plays a very different role for me. After dinner, I often brew a mild cup, less ginger, maybe a little honey and mint. It helps my digestion so I don't feel heavy going to bed. And the warmth has a calming effect, almost like a hug from the inside. But here's a small caution. Ginger can feel stimulating for some people. If you're very sensitive, avoid drinking it too close to bedtime. For me, if I drink it around 8 p.m., it relaxes me without disturbing sleep. So, in my routine, ginger tea works like this: morning for energy, afternoon for focus, and evening for comfort. And the beauty is you can adjust it to your lifestyle. If you're using it for weight management, mornings are best. If you want digestion support, evenings after meals are perfect. And if you're fighting cravings, the afternoon cup is your ally. Safety and precautions of ginger tea. Now, before you rush off to drink 3 giant mugs of ginger tea a day, let's pause for a moment. Like every powerful natural remedy, ginger tea has its boundaries. Think of it as a good friend, supportive, comforting, and healing. But even the best friend needs respect. If you overdo it or use it at the wrong time, things can get a little tricky. 1. Start small, go slow. When I first began my daily ginger tea routine, I made the mistake of throwing way too much grated ginger into the pot. The result? A fiery cup that felt more like a spice challenge than a soothing tea. My stomach wasn't happy either. Here's the lesson. Too much ginger at once can irritate your stomach, causing heartburn, gas, or even cramps. The safe way is to start with a small piece, half an inch or 1 teaspoon grated, and see how your body reacts. Once you're comfortable, you can build up to 1 to 2 cups a day. 2. Don't ignore the water rule. Ginger absorbs water as it brews, and the compounds inside it act like gentle stimulants. If you drink ginger tea without enough water throughout the day, you might feel a little heavy in the gut. I learned to always pair my ginger tea with a glass of plain water later. It keeps digestion smooth and prevents that dry, fiery feeling. 3. Medications that need spacing. Here's something important. Ginger's powerful compounds can sometimes interfere with medications. For example, if you're on blood thinners like warfarin or aspirin, ginger can slightly increase the risk of bleeding, since it has mild blood thinning effects itself. Similarly, if you're taking blood pressure or diabetes medication, drinking too much ginger tea might amplify the effect, making your levels drop more than expected. That doesn't mean you can't have it. It just means you should space it out from your medicine by a couple of hours, and always check with your doctor if you're drinking it daily in higher amounts. 4. Pregnancy and breastfeeding. This is the question I get asked often. Can pregnant women drink ginger tea? The short answer is yes, in small amounts. In fact, ginger tea is often used to reduce morning sickness. But here's the caution. High doses may not be safe, since ginger also affects hormones and circulation. If you're pregnant or breastfeeding, keep it to 1 mild cup a day, and avoid strong brews unless your doctor gives the green light. 5. sensitive stomachs, and conditions. If you have ulcers, acid reflux, or gallstones, ginger tea can sometimes make things worse. The strong compounds that help digestion can also irritate sensitive stomach linings. I've had friends who love ginger tea but had to switch to a milder version, using thin slices instead of grated ginger, and keeping steeping time short. So, the rule here is simple: listen to your body. If it feels soothing, keep going. If it feels harsh, adjust the strength or reduce the frequency. 6. How much is too much? Research suggests that up to 4 grams of ginger per day is generally safe. That's about 2 teaspoons of grated fresh ginger. More than that, especially in concentrated teas, can tip the balance from healing to irritating. Personally, I found that 1 to 2 cups a day is the sweet spot. Enough to enjoy the benefits, but not so much that it overwhelms my system. Here's how I think about it. Ginger tea is like sunshine. A little every day can do wonders for your health, warming your body and boosting your mood. But too much, too fast, or at the wrong time can cause a sunburn. So respect it, listen to your body, and make it part of your life with balance. With these simple precautions, ginger tea remains what it should be: a safe, healing, and enjoyable ritual. As we come to the end of this episode, I want you to think back to where we started. A simple cup of steaming ginger tea, passed down by a grandmother, shared across cultures, and now confirmed by science. We've traveled through history, seen how ginger tea was trusted in Ayurveda, Chinese medicine, and Caribbean traditions. We've unpacked the science, gingerol, shogaol, zingerone, the compounds that explain why ginger tea warms your body, calms your stomach, and boosts your immunity. We've looked at benefits one by one, from digestion to blood sugar, from stress relief to clearer skin. And I even shared what it felt like to drink it every single day for a week, the warmth, the focus, the comfort that built up quietly but surely. But here's the truth. All the history, research, and storytelling don't matter unless you try it yourself. Ginger tea isn't a miracle pill you pop once. It's a ritual, a small, daily habit that grows in impact the longer you stay consistent. So here's my simple 1-week ginger tea challenge. Something you can start tomorrow morning. Day 1 to 2. Keep it basic. Just fresh ginger boiled in water. Notice how your body reacts. Day 3 to 4. Add a variation. Maybe turmeric and pepper for immunity, or fennel and mint for digestion. Day 5. Try the cold/flu version if you're feeling under the weather, or just for prevention. Day 6. Make the stress relief cup in the evening. Ginger with chamomile and a sprinkle of cinnamon. Day 7. Reflect. How did the week feel? Was your stomach calmer? Energy steadier? Did you sleep better? Or crave less junk? By the end of 1 week, you'll know exactly what ginger tea does for your body. And chances are, like me, you'll find yourself making space for it. Not because it's trendy, but because it works. Here's the most powerful part. It doesn't take big money, fancy equipment, or exotic ingredients. Just a root you can buy anywhere, water, and maybe a little honey or lemon. That's it. Health simplified, 1 mug at a time. So as you finish this episode, I invite you, boil that water, slice that ginger, and begin. Try 1 cup a day for a week. Let your body tell you the story. And then, share it with your family, your friends, or even with me. Because the magic of these home remedies is not just in drinking them, but in passing them on, like a quiet gift from one generation to the next. Until next time, stay warm, stay balanced, and remember, sometimes the most powerful medicine is already waiting in your kitchen.